morning, Michaela. It is lovely to have you here with us today in our 9th Library Café. How are you doing today?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Great, I am great. And Michaela, I'm delighted to have you here. Michaela, you are our Engagement and Information Services Librarian, which means that you manage all of the front of house service and lots of other aspects, which you might get a chance to talk to us about later. But I know the main reason you're here today, and we're going to get straight into it because it was really exciting news, is that on the 6th of April, the library was once again able to offer on-site study. And of course, there are procedures and certain things we ask people to do. And you really wanted to have a chat with me today about the key things to think about if you're coming to the library to study.
That's right, yes, yeah. So, well, yeah, we were delighted to be able to open the doors again for insight study. A few things that students need to be aware of, really. We'll talk first about booking. We have 2-hour booking slots, and so the students need to book those slots before they arrive into the library. So to do that, they can go to the library website. There's a booking system there, very straightforward. They just need to choose a slot, and then they're put in their email address and their name. And then when they arrive in the library, they just show their confirmation email. And I think you're going to show the booking form there, are you?
I've
Yeah,
just opened
great.
it up now and it's appearing today for the Monday, April the 19th.
That's right,
So
yeah.
what would I
So,
do next now,
so
Michaela,
if you
if
just
I was
scroll down
studying?
to the bottom of the page,
Scroll
you can
down to
see
the
there
bottom.
that all those red sessions means that people have booked those. But that's
Great. So you're
only
busy today.
that's only the first 10
Ah,
seats. So
great. I
if
see.
you
Yeah, there's the 10
go there,
seats.
yeah, and we can just go forward, maybe even to page 4 or something like that, you'll then
Perfect.
see a lot of, oh, we are busy. So yeah,
Busy.
keep on scrolling.
Perfect. Let's try 6. So I know what you're saying to me, and there we have some spaces. You're
Yes, yeah,
saying that not to panic if you see red on the first screen, because each one of these simply represents a seat number in the library. Is that right? Or a
yeah.
place in the
A
library?
place, a study slot in
A
the
study
library.
slot.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that
Yep.
number doesn't relate to any seats that you have to sit
Okay.
on, in
Good
the
to know.
building. It's just a slot. So
Yep.
we have up to 230 slots. So we've never hit that limit. So if
Great.
you do keep seeing just the red slots, just keep scrolling forward and you'll find a slot. Yeah. So yeah, you
Perfect.
just click on that and that will you then go down to the
That
bottom of the
brings me
screen
down. Yep.
and
And
you're
then
going
I
to
won't go ahead so as not to take up a
yes,
space.
yeah.
But once
So yeah,
that's what you're required
very
to do,
straightforward. Yeah.
perfect. So actually that's great because I hadn't seen that booking form before, and it's really nice to know how you navigate through it and how it works in terms of the different colours and what that signifies. Perfect. I'll go back to the homepage again, Michaela, and because as you mentioned, all the details are there really clearly signified. I can see you've put in these little images to let people know
Yeah.
what they need to, where the information is. And also, we've shown this guide a lot of the times when we've been having the sessions, having the library cafes, we've shown our guides and tutorials. And as you know, we have our working remotely guide. So as well as going to the website, you can navigate to our working remotely guide and you can get that directly from the homepage as well.
Yeah,
And
that's a
that will
great guide.
summarize, and thanks to Michaela and her team, they've summarized the information and we've put it in here, different things that you need to be aware of. So all of that information is really easy to find. But Michaela, I know as well that let's say somebody was a bit confused and they turned up in the library. You've made things really easy for people once they come into the library in terms of a couple of key things about both booking spaces but also the check-in app. And I know
Yeah,
that's really important to talk
yeah.
about.
So when a student comes through the door, ideally they would have a booking and they would have already downloaded the MU check-in app. But if they haven't, it's not a problem because we have 2 big QR codes. One of them, if you scan it, it will take you to either the Apple Store or the Android App Store,
Brilliant.
and you can download the MU check-in app. Now that
Great.
check-in app is really, really important because
Yeah.
if we needed to, we would use that for contact tracing. So a
Perfect.
student downloads the app, then when they get up to their study desk, they will find a QR code on their desk and literally they just scan it. And then we have the details of who was in the building and where they were sitting.
Brilliant.
The other thing is, if you've forgotten to make a booking before you turn up, that's fine. There's a QR code there by the in the lobby, and they just scan that and they can make a booking there and then.
Fantastic. And with the app, Michaela, so what this means is that should there be, if there was any case or any issue, because is everybody when they're in the library during a slot, they're all close contacts, isn't that the
Yeah,
issue?
you see,
Yeah,
that's the issue.
so
That I
that's the
know that a lot of students they'd like us to extend the 2-hour study slot, but at the
yeah,
moment, because of the layout of the building, the 2-hour study slot is really there because of COVID restrictions, obviously, but it's because everybody is classed as a close contact in the building. So what it could mean is that if there was a case, it
yeah.
could mean that all the other students and the staff in the building would have to isolate for 14 days. And you're talking about a lot of numbers of students if that was the case. So that's
Absolutely.
why we have to put that in, why that's in place
Yeah.
at the moment.
That makes sense. Really, what you're saying there is it's a measure to really keep everyone safe. And I suppose as time goes on, it allows you to maybe potentially expand the services in the run up to exams. I know that's really important to you and your
Yeah,
team.
yeah, absolutely. We were really, really very keen to extend the opening hours and extend those study periods. But what we need to do is get students to wear their masks and to actually scan. There's no point in just downloading the app. They actually have to then use it once they get to the study desk to scan, to scan the QR on their desk.
Yes. Okay. So
So
download it, then make sure you
then
scan the
use
QR
it.
code.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
I did
And
just
everyone in
mention,
the library will, sorry, Michaela, we're
oh,
talking
you're
about such a,
fine.
but everyone in the library, if you have questions about it, the staff in the library are fully able to help you with those kind of
Yeah,
questions.
absolutely. Yeah, there's quite a few people around. There's EIS desk staff, there's
Yeah.
a facilities and events team,
Brilliant.
and there's also student concierge around. So anyone, any staff member will be able to help you. Yeah,
Perfect. And Michaela, we asked, as we always do each week, we put out on Instagram, we asked people what their questions were. So we got a few back, and some of which you've already answered. And maybe another question that's coming up is around the 2-hour booking. So, what happens at the end of the 2-hour booking? People who've booked for 2 hours need to leave
they do.
temporarily. Yeah,
Yes, yeah. So what happens is after the, say if you've booked for the 9 o'clock slot, at
yeah,
11 o'clock you will be asked to leave the building, and the reason is for that you as soon as it goes over those 2 hours, then we have contact tracing issues if there was an incident. So yeah, everyone is asked to leave the premises. Now you can come back later. You can't
great.
have two consecutive bookings,
Can't have two
but
consecutive.
you could have one later in the day. And I
Perfect.
would just remind students that the Hume building is open for study as well. So you could go take a break, take a bit of fresh air, have a quick walk or something if you want to do a bit more study in the Hume, and then come back to us.
Perfect. That's good to know. Now, and a quick question, but we all know how much we like our coffee and we love having Starbucks. So the question is about Starbucks. Is that open at the moment?
No, it's not,
No, not yet.
unfortunately. No, no. I haven't actually heard any news yet
Mhm.
as to when it would be open either. I suppose it's a very small space, so and we don't really want people sort of congregating in the foyer area, which would
Absolutely.
happen if we did open it. But yeah, we're looking forward to having our cups of coffee again.
Absolutely. And then another question, I think you've kind of answered it, Michaela, but people are asking, are the opening hours and the services going to be expanded further? And I think what I'm hearing you say is that that's absolutely the intention, but at each step, it's about doing things safely.
That's it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And we really do need to, we're hoping that students will use the check-in app and wear their masks. I'm not sure if I've mentioned about that they have to wear their
good point.
masks
Yeah,
every time they come into the library.
every time they
They
come in.
need to wear their mask at all
So when they're
times.
sitting down or moving around the
Yes.
library, they wear their
Yeah.
masks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They
So that's
have to.
important.
So if students comply with that, it gives us an opportunity to be able to review the situation. And
Absolutely.
obviously, if the numbers keep coming down, the COVID numbers, the
Yeah.
national numbers, yeah.
Yeah, well, that sounds really, really promising. And then the other thing, so this we were focusing mostly there on coming on site for study purposes, but I know that you and the team for the past year have been doing a huge amount, and this is going to continue with services to, I suppose, replace the opportunity people normally would have for coming on site. So you've had your click and collect, digital demand. So do you want to say a little bit about those services, and are they going to keep continuing as
Yeah.
well?
Yeah, Click and
Brilliant.
Collect has been a great service ever
Fantastic.
since, last March, when suddenly we're in a situation where people couldn't access books. What happens is somebody will put a request in for a book. Library staff will go up to the shelves and collect that book, issue it to somebody, leave it in a bag in the foyer, and somebody can just come in and collect it. And
Brilliant.
it's proved very popular. I was having a look, and over 3,500 requests
Wow.
have come in since last March. So, it's a hugely popular service. And because we're still in level 5, although we're allowing on-site study at the moment, ideally people should still be at home.
That's a
So we're
good
keeping
point.
Click and Collect going, and the requests are still coming in. So this suits us. People can just come in, collect the books, and then leave fairly straight.
Perfect.
And the same with the digital on demand. We have a huge amount of resources online,
Yeah.
but if there is a journal article that isn't available online, then they just put a request in. The desk team will find that they'll get the print journal, they'll find that article, they'll scan it, and then email it in a PDF off to the requester. So yeah, two great
Brilliant.
services.
No, that's fantastic. And there's been such good work done. And in a lot of our other library cafes, Michaela, we've talked about all of the online services that are available, how you can get so much online, possibly everything you need in some cases. And we have all the guides and tutorials available to support people. And the TRD team has been doing what we can to give people guidance on that. But your services are complementing that as well. Sometimes people will need a physical item, and that's why Click and Collect has been so important. And you explained the purpose of digital on demand. So I think that was a really good point you made. I thought it was good to emphasize it, that while we're able to provide the limited on-site study, ideally the government are still asking us, and obviously the university as a whole is still asking people to prioritize staying at home where they can, and obviously where we need to come on site. So I think that's another good point. And hopefully, I mean, it's looking positive, isn't it? The next
Yeah,
few weeks are going to see a change
yeah,
across all of
hopefully.
society, and hopefully.
Yeah.
Michaela, it was really lovely to talk to you, and the thanks to the students who asked the questions, and hopefully I think you've answered it really, really well. To remind everybody again, all you need to do to recap on any of that information is just go to the library homepage, and you'll see the details of all the different services that EIS team offer and how to avail of them. So, Michaela, thank you for talking to me today. It was really great.
Thanks very much.
Brilliant.
See you then. Bye.
Bye now.